Hi there, welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. Today we're playing a special scenario called Thunderhawk Down. You can see we have a scratch-built model of a Thunderhawk crashed down in the centre of the table.
No, isn't that a wrecked £400 model that was bought?
Oh yeah, I wrecked a Thunderhawk. No, I bought this for £5 off my mate Jason, who got it for free from a friend of ours called Ashen, I believe. That's the story of the Thunderhawk, but I've always liked it as a train piece, so I wrote this mission especially to make use of it. So, the idea is that this Thunderhawk has been flying over and has been shot down by my forces. So, it has crashed here and the forces inside are getting out and they have to protect a relic. So, the way it works is we're playing 1750 points today. Nick, sitting over there, gluing together some models, which had an accident on the way here. Nick had to put half of his 1750 points, or between a quarter and a half, inside the Thunderhawk transporter. The Thunderhawk transporter has a transport limit of 15 infantry models, but you can put bikes and very bulky things in and they take up extra spaces. And you can also put 2 rhinos on it or 1 land raider or similar sized vehicles. And then you can have units inside those vehicles as well. So he's got kind of like an allocation of space that he can fill up to half of his points inside the Thunderhawk. Also in there, he gets a relic to start the game with. So, the way we score victory points in this game is the relic at the end of the game, which Nick starts in control of, is worth 4 victory points. Then at the front of the Thunderhawk, the cockpit at the very nose there, is 1 objective, which you can score at the end of each of your turns, like a Maelstrom mission objective. But you don't get any points for it at the end of the game, so that's a cumulative objective, and it also counts as a Skyfire Nexus, because when you're inside the cockpit you can use all the instruments to help shoot down enemy flyers. The rear of the Thunderhawk, the engine section, is another Maelstrom type objective that you can cumulatively score at the end of each of your turns. It counts as a grav wave generator, as the fumes and the energy the engines are giving off make it hard to assault through. So they're 2 objectives, 1 at the front, 1 at the back, plus you've got the relic, which I said is worth 4 victory points, and we're also using a few other little Maelstrom style ways of scoring points through kill points. So if you kill an enemy unit in either the shooting phase, the assault phase, or the psychic phase, you can gain 1 victory point per turn in each of those phases for killing units. If you manage to kill 3 units in any of those said phases, you gain an additional victory point. So kind of like some of the Maelstrom objectives that you can get. Okay, the table is a reasonably dense city-type terrain. There are quite a few buildings on the board. And, the other thing, reserves. Reserves are quite important in this game. Because the Thunderhawk has crash-landed here unexpectedly, neither side's reserves are quite ready to be deployed. They're rushing as fast as they can, but they can only arrive turn 3 at the earliest. To make up for this, we both get to re-roll our reserve rolls, because they think it's quite urgent to come here and rescue the relic. Obviously, Nick is at a disadvantage until the reserves come on, because he only can start with up to half his force on the board. But to make up for this, he always gets first turn and there's no seizing the initiative, so he can he has to set up within 6 inches of the Thunderhawk, so he can move away. So the idea is that he's going to play a bit of a hide-and-seek game until the rest of his reserves arrive, and then the battle will properly start. I start down here, 18 inches in on this short table edge, but this short table edge is also the table edge Nick uses for his reserves coming on as well. So if he outflanks, he can come on the 2 long table edges, but otherwise he will come in behind my forces. So ideally, the game is designed to Nick start in the middle here, and he'll run away a bit while doing a fighting retreat, and I will push up the table, and then Nick's forces will arrive behind me, and we'll have a big scrap in the middle over the Thunderhawk. That's how I hope it'll work. Let's find out. So, going up against Nick's Space Marine force that are in the Thunderhawk, I have brought 1750 points of Chaos Space Marines. I've gone reasonably traditional today, as this is a bit of a fluffy match. I decided not to take my Helldrake. I told Nick I did this because I wanted to be kind, but it's actually because I spent so many points on my Demon Prince. So, my army consists of my Warlord, who is the Chaos Lord on bike. I am using the Crimson Slaughter detachment, so he's got the Demon Heart, which gives him a 2-up normal save. He's got the 4-up invulnerable save item. He's got a Power Axe. He's got Melter Bombs. He's on a bike. He is Nurgle marked as well. My entire army is Nurgle themed today. We have 5 Chaos Spawn, all marked with Nurgle. Then we have 8 Plague Marines, who are troop choices due to the fact I've taken a Nurgle Chaos Lord. In there are 2 Melter Guns and a Power Fist. They're riding around in a Land Raider. Then we have 5 Plague Marines. They've got 2 Plasma Guns. They're riding around in a Rhino. Forgot to say, the Land Raider has Dozer Blades, and it's also got a Dirge Caster. Next troop choice, we have 10 normal Chaos Space Marines. The guy leading them, the champion, has melter bombs. There's randomly one guy in there with an extra close combat weapon due to the fact I had 2 points spare, and there are 2 more plasma guns there inside a Rhino. I have a Hellbrute with a nice twin-linked las cannon. I have a single obliterator who's going to be deep striking in. And then we have the point and sink guy sitting at the front here. So he's a Demon Prince of Nurgle. He's got armour, he's got wings, he's got a Chaos Mutation, which we rolled up already. And I got +1 toughness. Get in. Very useful power. He's a level 3 Psyker. Nick's just arranging my Psyker powers for me. I have taken the Summoning. Always useful. Then I have Cunningly Rolled Iron Arm, which I like a lot, and Life Leech, which I also like a lot. And then I've had to take the Primaris Nurgle's Rot, which isn't an awful power, but not particularly good versus a Space Marine force like Nick is piloting. And I believe that's everything I've got in my army. Warlord trait-wise, I've got the one which gives all of Nick's units -1 leadership if they're within 12 inches of my Chaos Lord. Not brilliant.
Right, the Space Marine force that I'm bringing along, the stuff that's going to be starting on the table by the Thunderhawk, let's come down here. We have got a unit of 7 assault squads. There is a plasma pistol in there. He's one of the little red ones. And we've also got a veteran sergeant with a power fist and a grav gun.
So obviously a mixed force you're dealing with today, Nick. They're blue and red.
Yes, yes. I would like to say, well, red was starting on the blues, the relief force, but unfortunately I don't have enough Space Marine models yet. It's my army in progress, as well as
What
demons.
chapter are you using today?
I'm using Iron Hands because I thought feel no pain and it will not die might come in quite useful for the type of mission we're playing. The other bit of the force that's starting on the table by the Thunderhawk is the Land Raider. It's a Land Raider Crusader, and there's a unit of 5 Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators with a level 2 Librarian with a Storm Shield in Terminator armour. He has got, we rolled up Psychic Shriek. I can't remember that one.
Objuration Mechanicum.
That's the one. Well, you can see it on the video anyway. And we've also got Force as well. So I'm hoping that's enough to last until obviously turn 3, where we start getting the reserves, where we have Rhino with a 10-man tack squad, which has got a combi melter in it. We have got a Dreadnought with a twin-link autocannon. We've got a Vindicator, because I've not used one before, and I feel AP2 against Chaos Space Marines might be quite good.
Yeah, as do I.
We have a Storm Talon, which I'm just going to finish gluing that one last arm on that you can see there.
I was going to say, oh, the arms for the guy inside. I was thinking, where's an arm going to go on a Storm Talon?
And we have my Warlord there, which is the Chapter Master on bike with Thunderhammer, Storm Shield, and Artificer armour. With a unit of 6 bikes, when there's 2 grav guns in there, and there's an attack bike with a multi-melter as well.
Is that in that squad or is it separate?
I was keeping that in that squad, so
okay.
It's all going to be in that squad.
Well, in that case, I'm going to swap this for a painted one.
I was trying to use all my models, but I suppose a painted one would look better.
Yeah.
And that's it for the Space Marine Force. So hopefully we can survive until turn 3, where we then come on and just beat the Chaos Marines around the head.
Okay, you can see our setup here. So Nick has deployed his Land Raider full of evil Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators back here, and his Assault Marines are deployed there. They have the relic, so they're going to probably run away and hide. Now, it does look a little unfair at this point, so I'm hoping it's going to work out well, as Nick's going to be grumbling at me going, "This wasn't a very good mission design, Mike. You appear to be winning." So I have a Land Raider down here, Demon Prince in the middle, Dreadnought there, 2 Rhinos, and the squad of Chaos Spawn over there with a bike. And I have got 1 Obliterator in reserve.
Although, if it does go very badly and you table me, we've got time to play Eldritch Horror.
Oh yeah, we'll have a game of Eldritch Horror. One day we might even branch out into board games. If people like watching board game videos, go and see my mate Jason's channel. Now it's called Doom's Dark Seeds Hobby Room. I'm sorry, I forgot that wrong, Jason.
It's on your subscribers list, actually.
Jason is going to watch this, and then he's going to listen to this, and he's then going to put a link in a message below. But I go on his channel quite a lot, and we play board games, and we do kind of like live playthroughs. We talk about board game stuff. So if you're a big fan of board games, things like Eldritch Horror, Twilight Imperium, things like that, go to his channel. He does loads of really good videos there. Okay, There's no season the initiative roll for me to make. Nick gets to go first. Let's see if he runs away like a coward like the Ultramarines are, or the Iron Hands that he is today are, or whether he charges me. I suspect the sensible option may be to run away at this point.
Did you say charge?
Charge!
Right, this is the end of the Space Marines turn 1.
It was an interesting one, wasn't it, Nick?
It took all of 5 minutes. It's as if it's like turn 5 and there was nothing left on the table.
Weird, that.
The assault squad did as they would do. They ran back. They only got a 1-inch run move though, which was a pain.
Just as a note, we play that you can run with the relic because it's a bit silly. You're allowed to turbo boost and do special jump moves with it in the assault phases, but you're not allowed to run with it. So we always let people run with them.
Yeah. So as I say, they just moved. They're surrounding the statue, so they're a bit further back, obviously, from everything. Have to see how they go. The Land Raider moved forward.
He wasn't a coward.
The Land Raider moved forward, and we took the autocannon shots at the Dreadnought, which I've done 2 penetrating hits on it, but rolled double 1 for it. So
Yes.
it's just like 2 hull points off, but it can't shoot, wasn't it?
Can't shoot next turn. Well, I get to roll on the crazed table on my turn. We'll see what happens. I've never rolled on it before.
Yeah. That was the end of my turn. Just another quick note which you've forgotten about as well is there's no first blood or line breaker in this mission as well.
But we do have Slay the Warlord.
Yes. All right. Let's see how how I survived the Chaos Marines turn.
End of Chaos Space Marine turn 1. It was less exciting than Nick's, and Nick only had 2 units on the table. So I rolled on the Dreadnought's Fire, Fury, Frenzy, whatever it called table. It decided it wanted to charge at the opponent. So it moved through terrain 3 inches, then ran 1 inch forward, deciding not to fire his twin-link las cannon. Good decision, Mr. Hellbrute. The Land Raider over here moved forward 12, snap-fired both his las cannons at the opposition Land Raider, didn't do any damage. Down here, both Rhinos moved forward. This one stopped on the objective and scored me a point. So I have 1 point. Nick scored 1 point during his turn, so we're 1-1 at the minute. It's neck and neck. This other Rhino with the 10 Chaos Space Marines in decided to flat out and move forward a bit further. The Chaos Spawn are pacing it, and the Chaos Lord on bike is inside that building. Psychic phase was a big old disappointment. I rolled a 1 on the number of psychic dice. I really wanted to summon some pink horrors to up my psychic dice count for the future turns. I cast a summoning even with my familiar, which lets me re-roll it. I only had the 4 dice, and both times it didn't come up with 3 successes. So a bit of a disappointment there. So a bit of a null turn, which is bad because Nick should be on the back foot at this point, and I haven't got him onto it as yet. So hopefully next turn I'm that much closer. I'll be able to actually apply some pressure next turn before Nick's reinforcements come in and literally kick me in the ass.
End of Space Marine turn 2, and again another quick turn.
It is. This game's going to be over in about an hour or 2.
Eldritch Horror it is. The assault squad here, literally, they ran. We got a 4-inch run, so obviously because of the relic can only move 6, so we moved 10 inches away. So we're just trying to come over this side of the board, away from the Rhinos and Chaos Spawn and that, just to try and well, as we said earlier, it's cat and mouse. The Land Raider decided to move forward a bit, and as you can see just from the edge of the video there,
it was a sad turn.
The Terminators got out. We decided the Demon Prince was a good target to go for. And as you can see, he is no more.
I really didn't think you'd kill him in a turn, but you hit him with so many Thunderhammers.
I moved in, so it was only a 4-inch charge, so to make sure I definitely got him. We charged in during the psychic phase. I managed to cast Force as well.
Yep.
Demon Prince issued a challenge. My sergeant took it and got beaten up by the Demon Prince quite happily.
But his Storm Shield soaked up a couple of the wounds.
Yes, so obviously it was only the sergeant that died. And then the Libby actually did nothing to the Demon Prince, but I got 5 wounds through with the...
Yeah, I think you hit me 7 times or 6 times. You got 5 wounds through, and my saves weren't very good.
You made 1 save, and he did die.
Fell over. I used to play Chaos Demons, and Chaos Demons are so... Their Demon Princes are so much tougher than Chaos Space Marine ones because of all the gifts they can take.
I mean, I was kind of hoping it would last another turn, because now they're in the open.
Now shoot you.
Yeah, that's the problem. Also, though, in the shooting phase, the assault cannon finished off the Hellbrute.
Yeah,
so,
it was a bad turn for me, I tell you.
I forget, I get another VP because of the objective for the end there.
You're scoring... I'm assuming you're still within 3 inches of it, are you?
Actually, maybe not actually now.
You have to move your Land Raider forward to disgorge. Yes. I'm afraid no. Not quite.
Not quite. Never mind. I'm actually 3 VPs up because I scored a point for killing something in the shooting phase and 1 for the assault phase. So that was a very good turn for me. I just hope the Terminators can survive whatever shooting's coming at them. For the consolidate, I was tempted to go over towards this objective, but then I was worried about the rhinos just shooting off and me never being able to see them, and I think the cow spawn would just come over and eat them. So I decided to come back over towards the Land Raider instead, and see whether Curly decides to get out.
We shall find out.
In the Chaos Marines turn 2.
Chaos Space Marines turn 2. I really needed to make an impact this turn as Nick's reinforcements are about to arrive. I decided the Terminator squad, too dangerous to let live. I had to try and kill them this turn. So I got out the Nurgle Marines who are in the Land Raider. There's quite a few of them there and they're packing a couple of melter guns. I also moved this Rhino slightly over. It's still scoring that objective and it has 2 plasma guns inside in rapid fire range. I fired off the 2 plasma guns. I managed to kill 2 Terminators, which was nice, but unfortunately one of my 2 Plague Marines succumbed to a Gets Hot, which was very bad. So he has died. The Land Raider disgorged its stuff and then fired its 2 las cannons at the Land Raider of Nick's. Failed to do anything. Las cannons just, even though they're the biggest, heaviest anti-tank gun the forces of the Imperial Chaos can really take, it's still not a good enough gun to reliably hurt a Land Raider. The Nurgle Marines did much better. They fired all their melter guns and bolt pistols and they killed another 2?
No, they killed one. These
oh yes, because one had already died. So yeah, they killed another Terminator and then charged in. Now I was pretty confident here. I had 21 attacks. I only hit with 6 of them, which Nick then failed only 1 save, but then he passed his Feel No Pain.
You wounded 4 times, and I rolled 3 6s and a 1, and then my
That's it.
Feel No Pain of a 6
There's another 6.
survived.
And then we got into close combat and he hit me back a couple of times, but I Feel No Pain away them, so it was a drawn combat in the end. Not particularly exciting. We'll have to see if anything more exciting happens on the next turn. Unfortunately, the rest of Nick's forces are coming in now. Over here, I moved up. I managed to get hot both my plasma guns in the back of that Rhino. I've been rolling well on those, but luckily their armour save saved them. And the bike leader there and the squad of Spawn have run forwards. Unfortunately, only got a 2-inch run this turn, so they haven't really got particularly far forwards. I was hoping to get to this objective here, but couldn't quite stretch it far enough to get to it. But probably next turn they'll be within assault range of the assault squad, as long as they don't have to turn back and deal with whatever arrives on my table edge. Okay.
End of the Valiant Space Marines turn 3. And we got to roll our reserves this turn.
And they all came on.
Everything came on. The bikes of the Chapter Master, the Vindicator, Dreadnought, the Rhino, and the Storm Talon. Nothing stayed off.
It's not looking good for our heroic Chaos Space Marines at this point.
Right, as you can see, the bike squad have come in this side, coming up behind the Land Raider over here. And everything else kind of come over here. The Rhino coming up behind this building here for a bit of cover. And the Dreadnought and Vindicator coming on together. And Storm Talon coming up in front of them. Wasn't very good for the shooting phase though. The other bit of movement, I'll just bring it up to what was left over here. The Land Raiders come over here to try and sit in front of the Chaos Lord and Rhino there and score that VP. And the Assault Squad has got inside this bit of terrain over here. But alright, back to the shooting phase. The Land Raider fired off into the Chaos Lord and that over there. We did a wound which has been taken on one of the Chaos Spawn. He looked out, so it was a rending hit which I managed to get through with the assault cannon. Didn't think I'd do much, but I was hoping to do a couple of try and do something to it, because I know they're coming around trying to get this relic away from us.
Yep, certainly am.
We're certainly not going to let them have that. What else happened? You
fired your entire army at this Rhino.
Yeah. Where everything came on, I thought, well, we'll fire the Dreadnought first at the Rhino, I was hoping to try and destroy it. Obviously, I've wrecked it in the end by firing the Dreadnought, Vindicator, Storm Talon, bikes.
Yeah, you're really hoping to fire the Vindicator at the contents, weren't you? So
yes.
You fired the other 3 units and you still didn't kill.
Yeah, I was basically thought, an auto cannon on the Dreadnought. Let's try and destroy. Let's try and pop a obviously Rhino. I thought that would be all right.
I think each unit did a whole point. You did one whole point with the Dread, then
one whole point with that.
None with the bikes.
Nothing
really
with
bad.
the bikes. I rolled quite badly with the grav guns,
yeah.
And the multi-motor I hit but failed to wound. So the Vindicator in the end had to fire off, which did the final hull point, and no, it made the save on the Chaos Spawn. I managed to go there. The Land Raider, I did the Psychic phase. I did the Malediction, which I could do.
Yes, and you managed to get a pen with your
Haywire. I think.
What's that power called? Objuration Mechanicum.
Yes, I managed to cast that off successfully. As soon as I rolled a 1 on Psychopath, so I only had 3 dice, but 3 dice to Curly's 1. I got 2 successes, so...
That's it, and then you rolled a 6 with your haywire, didn't you? And you managed to...
pen it and...
Stop me moving or firing this
Yes,
turn.
so quite very good for that one. And in the close combat, I lost my last Terminator with Thunderhammer and that. But
and you took a wound on the Libby as well.
Libby's taken a wound, but he is there, and I did no wounds back.
Yeah.
So I do feel this combat is literally there just to hold up for the rest of it to come along. So that's the end of my turn 3. Obviously, with my reserves on, it's just the Obliterator to come on, then everything's on the table, and it seems quite small. Although I do normally play Orcs.
Yeah, this is true.
So we'll see how the turn 3 goes.
Chaos Space Marine turn 3, and it was not a good one. My dice decided this turn to completely run away. So what did we fire? We snap fired a Land Raider with 2 twin-linked things. Didn't roll any 6s, so I did nothing. Plasma gun from in there, and the bolters fired over at the bikes. I managed to get 1 wound on a grav gun, but Nick made his feel no pain roll, which was quite nice for Nick. Round here, I snap fired a couple of plasma guns up at the Storm Talon, didn't get any 6s. I dropped in here with my Obliterator, managed to hit with a twin link melter gun into the side of a Land Raider, rolled a 3 for my damage result, so did nothing. Over here, the bike and his unit had shot over there. I need a 5-inch charge to get into the Assault Marines, failed that as well.
Am I rolling a 4?
I'm rolling a 4. It was really not my turn. Every die roll I tried to make failed. I don't think I did a single wound in the shooting phase. In the assault phase, my Plague Marines finally managed to finish off the Librarian on 1 wound without him dealing any back, and they've spread out slightly. So that was the only glint of hope this turn. I did manage to get an objective secured Rhino next to the front objective there to secure that point, and I still have some Plague Marines on the back point, so along with the Librarian I got 3 victory points this turn, so Nick and I are now on 5 all, but I think Nick has easily the weight of units on the board now to kick my ass. I've killed 1 of his units, he's killed quite a few of mine.
The only thing I'm worried about at the moment is
yes, the relic I am closer, but you've got your bikes over there, but they may need to stop to kill a Land Raider, so who knows?
Try and sling off something, I think.
That's it, we shall see what happens.
End of Space Marines turn 4, and we tried a risky move with the Assault Marines that were cowering on over here. Well, I say cowering, they were holding out with the relic over here.
They were valiantly standing firm, I feel.
They were being a very good mouse, I feel, for the cat and mouse game.
Yes.
We decided, because obviously the guy holding the relic can only sort of move 6, but the rest of the squad can move more. I slung the majority of the squad around here so we could see the Obliterator, thinking I could get the charge in on him and try and slingshot the relic away from the Chaos Lord here. We managed to move him. We did manage to charge. We were 5-inch charge, so I didn't drop the relic from there. I lost 1 guy though, unfortunately, and didn't do a wound to it, and I failed my leadership. So
Obliterator smash!
Unfortunately, I didn't realise. I forgot I didn't get a feel no pain, and I rolled a 6 for it as well. Before
you did, but I got a power fist.
So the guys, obviously, we dropped the relic there, just beside my Land Raider, and they ran 5 inches away. But we do get to auto rally on my turn, so see how that goes. The Land Raider and the Storm Talon put a load of shots into the Chaos Spawn. Because the Chaos Lord was there, everything was going into the spawn, and we've actually taken out 2 of them. So there's only 3 left there, and the Dreadnought fired over as well and did another wound onto that one, so he's only got 1 wound left. So whittled the Chaos Spawn down a bit, actually, so not as scary, because I do feel, obviously, trying to render the assault phase from, well, the amount of close combat attacks they could have would be very good. My Rhino comes scooting around the building, going up to there, getting ready to try and jump onto that objective to secure that one. And the bikes decided to use the Plague Marines here try and use them as a slingshot to boost themselves up the field a little bit. The bike squad, not all of them could attack in the assault. We failed to do any wounds, and obviously the sergeant in the Plague Marines has to issue a challenge. Chapter Master accepted. Smacked him around the face. I did 5 wounds, but Curly made 2 of the feel no pain saves. So there's the 1 guy left there. So I didn't get to slingshot off. So I'm in combat, and I failed at getting a VP for it because as we can only score VPs in your turn. So if I kill him in Curly's turn in the assault phase, I do not gain a VP for him.
Yep.
The shot of the turn came from the Vindicator. I was trying to see if I can get in range of the plate Marines here, thinking, well, that would be a nice unit to get, and if I scatter off, there's quite a good scatter. Unfortunately, I wasn't in range, so I fired at the furthest point on the Land Raider, which was round about there. And
you notice my Land Raider is no longer here.
I managed to hit, pen, blew it up. Blowing it up 5 inches though meant I did hit pretty much all my bikes, but didn't take any wounds. I hit the front 2 guys on this Marine unit and obviously failed to win them. But the Land Raider is no more, so I scored 1 VP for that. And taking Curly off of that objective, so he doesn't score for that one now, is good. So we're actually, I'm on 6 VP, Curly's on 5. So
it's pretty close. I'm quite happy on how balanced it is at the minute.
Yeah, as I say, I think with where we talked about it, obviously we'll talk at the end. How different outcomes.
But it's going nicely so far.
Yeah, so let's see how the Chaos Marine turn 4 goes.
Chaos Marine turn 4. So at the minute, Nick has a lot more firepower on the table than myself, so I decided to go for a bit of a delaying tactic. The Chaos Spawn that were on the front of the Thunderhawk here, they ran back and joined in the combat with the bike squad, hoping to delay them enough so Nick didn't get to move them during his turn. And this succeeded. Nick managed to kill my Plague Marine, but luckily that was during my turn, so he doesn't score the VP for it. He killed one of the Chaos Spawn who charged in, and there's one left with only 1 wound, but they're holding them because they're fearless, so that was good. Over here, this squad of Chaos Space Marines jumped out of their Rhino with their plasma guns, fired back here into the squad of 7 Assault Marines. The 7 Assault Marines lost 5 of their number and then failed their leadership check. The way this game's set up is that Nick comes in from reserve on this table edge, but his table edge for running away is the far table edge. So where he ran that way last turn, and he continued running that way, and he rolled massively. You rolled like 15 on your run away.
Yeah, 15, yeah.
And he got to the table edge, unfortunately for him. So that was a unit down, so I got a VP.
Did immobilise your Rhino, though?
I cunningly immobilised my Rhino, I was just trying to shuffle it, but it is still within 3 inches of the objective there, and that objective is pretty useful because it's scoring me a VP each turn, and I'm objective secured, being a troop unit. I decided I really wanted to kill the Land Raider this turn, so I thought, overkill. Be sure, Mike. Be sure to kill it. So I stuck in 2 melter guns from the Plague Marines, 1 multi-melter from the Obliterator. They all hit, but I only got 1 hull point off it for that. Really poor.
Destroyed that.
I destroyed a Hurricane Bolter. And then I hit it with 2 Power Fists and a Melter Bomb and got 1 glancing hit. Not good. My Land Raider died pretty easily. Nick's Land Raider is being a proper Iron Hand and is surviving, so it might even get hull points back next turn. As you can see, my Chaos Lord had left the spawn, and he has joined up with the Obliterator, and he has picked up the relic. And as its next turn is turn 5, that could be pretty pivotal. Let's hope, fingers crossed. Other than that, we'll have to see, because Nick's firepower is moving up the table.
End of the Marines turn 5, and possible final turn, we do not know. Wasn't good, actually.
No, Nick's rolling, let him down.
At the end of the game, it's failing me. The Vindicator had no targets to fire at, so it just rolled up 12 inches and got itself from the objective.
I think it flat-outed as well. So
yeah, so it went 18 onto the objective, so I got the point for that one. Leaving the Rhino, it turned round and fired its combi melter and failed to hurt the Rhino. I was hoping to do... I was within the 12, so I could roll 2 dice, so I was hoping to blow that up. Unfortunately, you didn't get to do that. Storm Talon come flying over here, and the Land Raiders come over here. Land Raider didn't get a whole point back, so it's still taking 2. We fired both of them into the Chaos Lord and Obliterator, and also the Dreadnought moved over here, and he could see the Chaos Lord as well, all the way over there. And we put a lot of wounds in, but you made all your 2-up saves. So...
Yeah, I made a lot of 2-up saves. I must have made 12, 15 2-up saves.
So it was... Unfortunately, I was hoping to put some wounds in there, possibly kill the Obliterator at least, so just leaving the Chaos Lord there by himself. That only left combat down here, where I lost the bike, and there's still a Chaos Spawn there who's taken 1 wound, is it, or 2?
He's taken 1, he's got 2 left, so he's likely to die in my turn, so I'm going to have to send something else down to delay you.
Yeah, but it could also end on the end of your go.
Could end on the end of my turn.
And scores on doors at the end of my go is 7-all. So if it does end on Curly's go, he would win because
I have a relic.
And you're on that objective there as well.
Yep.
So it's kind of, I need to really get up this end of the table and try and wipe this lot out. But we shall see whether it ends at the end of Curly's turn 5.
Chaos Space Marine, turn 5. So this could be the end of the game. We'll roll in momentarily. So I decided again to pile all my massive anti-tank into the Land Raider. Yes, you guessed that, did nothing. I hit it again with 3 melter guns. 3 melter guns, didn't get a single glancing hit. I just keep on rolling 2 dice and getting 3s, 4s and 5s. So it's getting old at this point. I really want to deal some damage. So then I charged it with 2 Power Fists again. Did nothing, only hit twice. So completely wasted all this stuff over here. The Chaos Space Marines over here pile back in their immobilised Rhino because they're scared of the Vindicator. They fired 2 plasma guns with 4 shots into the back of the Rhino. I got hot, but didn't hurt the Rhino at all. So that was not good. So completely ineffective. Nothing happened that side of the table. My Chaos Lord had dropped the relic, and the relic has been picked up by the Sergeant of the Plague Marines back here. The Chaos Lord then made a nice 8-inch charge into the bike squad to try and reinforce them to hold Nick's bikes for another turn. I'm not going to win this game if it goes long, so I need to hold Nick's bike squad up and then survive with the relic the other end of the table. So I made my charge in. I challenged Nick's Chapter Master. The bikes and the Chaos Spawn bounced off each other. The Chapter Master and my Chaos Lord went at it. I managed to get 3 wounds through Nick's Storm Shield save, and then his poxy iron hands, Feel No Pain, saved 2 of them on his 6-up, and then he dealt me 3 wounds back, and I only passed 1 save, so I'm on 1 wound left now. I failed my It Will Not Die, and Nick's Chapter Master has 3 wounds left, so not looking pretty for my Chaos Lord. But the game may well end now, so Nick's gonna roll dice. On a 1 or a 2, the game is over.
No!
Oh, yes! So, we'll quickly do points here. So I'm controlling this one here, so I gain +1 point for that.
I've got you over here, Kel, so you got 8 for that.
Oh, yes, I'm over there, aren't I?
So you got 12.
Oh, so I have somehow got a 12-7 win out of that. It didn't feel like a 12-7 win, but it kind of worked as I had hoped. I came on, pushed you back, you counter-assaulted, then all your stuff came on and then pushed me all the way up the table.
Yeah, it has worked very well. You got to think, if it went into my turn...
Yeah, one more turn, I think.
Right, say my turn, 8-7 if it went to turn 6. I've got a good chance of killing both of them.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's 3 VPs there, because that's the Warlord.
You'd have only got, because you have to kill 3 units in a phase to get 2 VPs, as it were.
1, 2 units and Warlord.
No, but you need to get 3 to get the 2 VPs from the...
yeah, but no, I'm just thinking you get 1 VP for killing that unit.
Yep.
1 VP for killing that unit, 1 VP for killing the
Warlord. No, sorry.
Challenge the Warlord.
I might cut this bit out, but you get 1 VP for killing 1 unit in the assault phase.
Oh, yes,
you get 2 VPs for killing 3 units in the assault phase.
That's my...
Yeah, so you'd get 2 there. I'm pretty certain you'd get 2 there.
So that would have put me...
And then it would have been... This bloody Land Raider still quite a lot of firepower, and because it's now being held by a Chaos Space Marine, you could... I mean, there's only 1 guy next to him.
It would be... That would basically back up. This could quite happily go in hover mode.
Go in hover mode.
There. Just to be annoying, if that could move up to there.
Yeah, that could get some shots in. I think the Vindicator is more likely to move into that gap there and shoot over here.
I'm just thinking if the Rhino was there, it stops you from getting your objective in your turn.
But certainly, I think if it went another turn, I think you would have been in the driving seat. And if it went a turn over that, you would have definitely won.
Oh, yes.
Because this unit would have finished them off and then come up the table. Yeah. But you didn't win, I did! Didn't win. Let's stop this talk. But I thoroughly enjoyed the mission. Neither of us took particularly tournamenty armies, and I really enjoyed that, to be honest.
Well, I took an army kind of based on the mission, but also based on...
It was nice and flavourful, wasn't it? I mean, when you play this style of mission, it's designed to be flavourful, isn't it?
I've had my Space Marine army for a while now, or a lot of it, and I'm just sort of painting bits of it. And as much as I do like my Orcs and that, I've got a bit bored and want to play something else. And I'm tempted. I know it's a long way away, but doubles tournaments next year, I'd possibly maybe like to take Space Marines instead of Orcs or Tau as a different army. So that means that there's a lot of painting involved. So it will probably be Orcs or Tau I take.
Yeah, yeah. Painting takes a long time.
Yeah.
Just doing a nice close up here on this very heroic Chaos Spawn who saved the day. He probably won me the game by holding in that extra turn. Things in your army. What did you like? What didn't you like?
Land Raider.
Your Land Raider was amazing. It was unkillable.
It should have died many, many times. Again, we talked about it as well, just based on the mission. We talked about it for different armies. If I was fighting against Tau, you could have shot me off the board.
Yeah, this mission's one of those missions that doesn't really work unless you take flavourful armies.
You've got to take the right army. So that's why, obviously, I had to make my army up whilst I was at work briefly today. During the lunch
Your
break.
bosses don't watch this video, do they? Unless they're watching over your shoulder when you're watching it at work.
I haven't got a boss at the moment. He resigned, so...
Oh, well, that's fine then.
my actual manager works up in Liverpool, so...
Yeah, we're playing Eldritch Horror at Nick's work tomorrow while he's working.
That's while I'm on call.
Finishing
up a couple of jobs. But no, I say I like the Land Raider. I like the start of the turn. I thought, because I sat there thinking, what do I want to take? And I spoke to you about it. Obviously, the Land Raider with the Terminators was pretty much I'm taking them because the Land Raider's 14 armor. You weren't going to have much that could shoot it off for 2 turns to hold it off.
Obviously.
I meant when you actually had your full army. Yeah, as it was, you really just had the las cannons, but I dealt with the Dreadnought. I completely forgot you had the Hellbrute, sorry.
Yeah, I completely forgot he was there.
And your Land Raider was pretty...
My Land Raider was complete... I mean, it's always the same story with Chaos Space Marine. I've taken it a few times now, and it's never done well.
No.
It just can't... The fact it doesn't have the machine spirit, so it can't split fire, means its heavy bolter's pointless. And because you're using it as an assault vehicle, the las cannons are always snap firing, and that again makes them pretty pointless. So it's a very expensive assault vehicle.
Yeah. Whereas
basically.
at least mine just got. I sort of sat it there going, "Come on, you're gonna have to come up to me. Yours gonna snap fire." And then because you did run the risk of your Demon Prince being there, I thought it's got to die at some point. And I was worried, and because of the fact you can get your psychic power off for the +3 strength and +3 toughness.
That's it. Well,
assault,
that's it. If I'd have rolled a 6 on psychic powers turn 1, I think it'd have been a really different game because I'd have had some horrors. I'd have iron armed up.
Yeah.
But the 1, I probably shouldn't have tried for the horrors. I should have probably gone for iron arm. But I really wanted the extra horrors on the table because I knew there was a chance you'd kill the Demon Prince.
You was planning though for longer games.
Yeah, that's it.
Thing. And then got it in. Obviously, Storm Talon. I do like Storm Talons. They've handy little things.
They just put firepower anywhere, don't they?
Yeah, I'd like to try if I can get the Skyhammer upgrade, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not. The heavy bolter on it is still just as
because
good.
you were mainly firing at infantry.
Yeah.
Okay, the Skyhammer would put an extra wound or so on infantry, but not much more.
I still just think though I'd rather have it as an infantry. It's the 4 assault cannons. I think an infantry flyer. I think is what I prefer it at. Or if you had the Helldrake, fire at that Helldrake.
Yeah.
Obviously, having 1 Rhino with Tac Squad, that was more just trick choices. But
yeah, you got to fill them up, haven't you?
Yeah, you got to fill them up.
Bike Squad, I found pretty scary the whole game.
Bike Squad, I've obviously faced against Bike Squads, and I just like it. And I think that will be.
They're fast, they're mobile, they've got lots of firepower, and the Chapter Master is beastly in combat.
I think that's just the standard given. That's going to be my army.
Yeah.
I do like my Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators, but they can be substituted with other things, I think, and the Land Raider.
That's it.
Depending on the game you're playing.
Similar to your bikes, I love my Cow Spawn. They're so cheap, they're so durable. Once you get into close combat, unless their squad they're fighting's got loads of strength, I mean, their toughness 6, you just couldn't hurt them. They had no armour save didn't matter because you weren't putting wounds on them.
That's why it's kind of... I left them... Because they were coming up here, I didn't really have much to shoot at them, but I left them until... Right, they're going to get into combat now. Piled a load of shots into them, took a couple of them out, and didn't find them as scary because there was less of them there.
Yeah, because you killed some.
Yeah, I know they're still going to be tough, but to finish them off. Vindicator, I do like, but obviously, again, it's got to be the right game, I think, for the Vindicator. This game, I felt
it suffered a little bit because it was coming on, and obviously the long table edge. First turn it came on, it was pretty scary, and then it killed Lammo. So it did well, but I felt the last couple of turns, because it was moving up, it wasn't really doing its job, was it?
First time it came on, it should have done better. I should have just destroyed that Rhino with other things.
Oh, I've just remembered something. I don't think it would have made a huge difference, but you didn't use your Chapter Master's orbital bombardment.
Damn it!
I always forget whenever I take a Chapter Master as well. I was just thinking, because the strength 10 from the Vindicator was really scaring my Plague Marines, who I was loving the whole game. The Plague Marines were awesome. They're so tough. They can take 2 specials. They're just really good.
That's the thing, I think, with the Chaos Marines, that we can take the different ones, like the Plague Marines and that. That's where I think they get the bonuses on the thing.
Yeah, I feel
their basic Marines are better than, I think, the tactical.
I feel I need to expand my Chaos Marine army a little bit, because usually I pair it with demons, so that gives me, obviously, because I've got hundreds and hundreds of demons.
Is this just an excuse to spend more money?
Nick is smirking at me saying I need to expand my army. But whenever I take it, I always feel very similar. I mean, I didn't take the Helldrake today, and up there some of my painting stuff. I didn't take the Nurgle zombie squad.
Yeah, I was gonna say
which I often take.
I wasn't sure if the zombie squad would come in, but then I thought the only reason I thought your zombie squad might come in is when you really wanted to force onto the relic. I've seen you obviously take the chaos spawn before. I didn't know what to expect with your chaos army.
I think to expand this army, I think noise marines. I think are probably my next buy. I think that would give me a little more option because they can do cover ignoring anti-tank, long range, and they're quite cool.
The other one which my brother takes, which I do quite like, is which Simon takes, is the Forge Fiend.
Yes, I like the Forge Fiends. I'm continually looking on eBay. I don't want to pay full price for one. You know what I'm like. I like to eBay my models, and I can't find a cheap one on eBay. If anyone's got a Forge Fiend they want to sell, contact me. You know, send me a message.
If it's painted nicely,
I mean, I'm always happy to buy new miniatures. Why haven't we thought this before, Nick? Pimping for sales on YouTube.
Yeah, just put comments in. Just let us know what you got. Any army. We're happily.
Oh God! Don't tell Mark he buys anything. Well, we better call it a day there. Thanks for watching. I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. It was a good, flavourful game. I always like getting out this Thunderhawk model. Best £5 ever spent, I think, because I don't know what they made it out of, but they spent a lot of time doing it because it's got really great details. The cockpit's all there, the engines look cool. I mean, it's been battered because it was kept in a box for a long time.
It was kept in a box for a long time, wasn't it, at the old gaming club?
Yeah, it was at the old Luton Gaming Club, so anybody who's watching this from there will probably notice it from the terrain box. But yeah, really enjoy getting that out, and it's a nice centrepiece to a table.
Well, it's nice because we don't get to get that sort of thing out often, do we?
Yeah, that's it, and it really fitted this mission, and mission was great fun. Thanks for the game, mate.
Cheers, thanks very much.
And unfortunately, I really felt you were going to take that one there. I think you would have gone a turn longer.
It was touch and go throughout the whole thing because we were so close on objectives.
Yeah, on actual scoring.
Because you scored, we're scoring the points.
That's it. It came down to the relic, which was that was the idea.
Exactly.
I love it when a plan comes together, as Hannibal would say. See you next time.
See ya.